Hello, Matt. I just read your discussion. I found it very interesting. I wanted to actually talk about how your school did nothing to integrate the new students into the current student body. I think one of the reasons they did that is because they figured the African students would break off into smaller groups and eventually, slowly, as they made friends with other students in the school, they would slowly be integrated. Whereas if the school did draw attention to it, like, hey, we're having a bunch of new students, why don't you guys go talk to them? Or have like this big old thing about it, it would have the reverse effect. That's my understanding of what the school might have thought would happen. If we draw a lot of attention to it, they're going to feel segregated. Whereas if we don't bring attention to it, they will slowly integrate into the student population. Over time, they start to interact with other students. And the reason I bring this up is because we actually had an experience I actually had an experience like this in high school, not in school itself, but in my after school job. I used to work at SeaWorld when I was younger. And they decided, after I worked at SeaWorld for 2 years, they decided to introduce a new program. It was a work abroad program. And what they would have is they would have university students from the Philippines, Thailand, China, Turkey. Trying to remember. I think there was one more. I just can't remember. It's been like 12 years. Anyway, they had them come over, but the workplace said, "Hey, you're gonna have this one Chinese person working with you, and like just try to talk with them." And so they didn't give us much more than that. We weren't taught about their language or their culture, and at first it was a very segregated environment where the students, the Asian students would keep to themselves, and then slowly over time, we actually became an included model because the students were curious about our culture and we were curious about their culture. So we asked them questions, and they asked us questions like, "Hey, like, oh, what are you guys studying? What do you do in your country?" And then they were also shocked by our cultures, how we get to drive cars at such an early age, and we're pretty much like on the same level as them, but we're younger than them, when it comes to like dating, driving cars and stuff like this. So it was a very interesting experience where it started off segregated, but over time it became included because we just wanted to know so much about the other side. So I think this was what your school was heading for, trying to get, but of course they did not get what they were aiming for, or they felt like they got what they wanted, but they didn't quite get it. So I wanted to bring that up, and I wanted to know if you had any questions about my experience and how the school doing nothing, or in my case, the company doing nothing, and we just slowly integrated it ourselves. Thank you for your time.